What's up, guys? Welcome to Season 5, Episode 3 of the Monday Night Wars. I am Chad Talks, and joining me, as always, is Jmack Gaming.
Chad and everybody watching on youtube.com/Jmack Gaming, welcome to the granddaddy of them all, the Super Bowl of professional wrestling, the reason why I was born, Wrestlemania 19, live here in Seattle, Washington at the T-Mobile Park. We saw Ichiro Suzuki win Rookie of the Year, and now we're going to be watching the wrestling show of the year because WrestleMania invades Seattle here tonight. Chad, this is one of the biggest shows of all time. Are you excited at all for this monstrous show we have in store for you?
Oh, hell yeah! I'm excited about WrestleMania, brother. I mean, what a card we have. I can't wait to see what you have in store for us tonight.
The beauty of it is I don't think you actually know the card at all. So this...
I do. I can tell you.
Hey, don't look!
I can tell you every match on the card.
This is what we have in store for us. We can go back over the last couple WrestleManias. We can go to WrestleMania 15. What a beautiful WrestleMania this was. Chad, do you remember the big celebration we had for this WrestleMania?
Yeah, we streamed it, didn't we?
We streamed it. It was our first time ever being Twitch partnered at that point, or Twitch affiliate, sorry. And we had a big live stream for WrestleMania 15 and WCW Rising Sun. What a night that was, because we saw Stone Cold and The Rock in the main event, and we also saw Eddie Guerrero walk out of WCW. What a night that was for all of us. WrestleMania 16 in Baltimore, Maryland. We saw the rise and the greatest comeback story of them all. Shawn Stasiak defeated Eddie Guerrero to win the WWF World Heavyweight Championship. What a story it was. What a 3-year-long story it was for Shawn Stasiak. WrestleMania 17. Just like in real life, it was held at the Houston Astrodome in Houston, Texas, and we saw the triumph, the coronation of the new beast of WWE, Brock Lesnar, who won the Royal Rumble, defeating The Rock for the World Championship. And then last year's, who could forget, The Undertaker walked in and got his revenge against Stone Cold, who defeated him at the previous WrestleMania, and beat Stone Cold for that WWF Championship. One of those men will not be here tonight because they're gone, Chad. They're behind.
1 bar, 2 bars, 3 bars.
We also saw Alex Wright get his first ever World Heavyweight Championship, cashing in the King of the Mountain match. Chad, that's a match that you don't even know who's in it yet. That's gonna be a fun one. Who's your early prediction on who's gonna win Money in the Bank King of the Mountain match this year?
Oh man, I'm going to say Christopher Daniels.
Oh, that's a good guess. He is, spoiler alert, in the match. He is.
Perfect.
Also, spoiler alert, he is the United States champion right now as he beat Ric Flair going into No Way Out. But Chad, do you want to just get into the match or the show live tonight? WrestleMania. What match are you excited for the most out of these matches you see right here?
Masawa Flair.
Masawa Flair, the final boss of professional wrestling. Masawa taking on the GOAT. He is now calling himself the 13-time World Heavyweight Champion, Ric Flair. His final dance, as people are calling it, in our main event match. That's the one you're most excited about. That's the one I'm most excited about, too. Let's get into the show itself. We start off on our WrestleMania pre-show presented by Pizza Hut, Chad. Pizza Hut is our sponsor here tonight. What is so funny over there?
I've heard nobody out pizzas the Hut.
No one out pizzas the Hut. You're right. And in our pre-show tag team match, four tag teams of Monday Night Raw competing to be the king of the Hut. Chad, this is for the pizza belts. It is hometown heroes Randy Savage and OJ Orlando Jordan, the Bashams and Burger Cade, wrong food business, baby. The hometown heroes, Charlie St. Hubbins and Tammy Pulver, continue their hot streak as they are now they have out-pizzaed the Hut, and they have won this Pizza Hut pre-show match.
I mean, listen, the hometown heroes love pizza.
They don't even have a pizza shop in their hometown, Chad.
Well, maybe now they'll build one.
Yeah, maybe now they will build one. Let me get my card back out as I close my phone like an absolute dingus malingus. We have another pre-show match, Chad. We have seen this guy on SmackDown a few times over the last couple months. It is Valentino showing off his high-flying ability. He's taking on Jack Evans, and in a 79, Valentino defeated Jack Evans in 9:35. I can't believe a high-flying, fast-paced action match ends with a submission. That's how we booked them, boys. Unbelievable. In this pre-show tonight, Chad, I wanted to showcase a bunch of different styles of wrestling to the crowd. We saw the not the high flying, but the strategy of a tag team versus tag team versus tag team versus tag team match. This was a high spot match. And up next on our pre-show, I wanted to showcase our new budding hardcore division as we have a tag team match between Tommy Dreamer, Justin Credible, and Necro Butcher and Nick Gage. And Necro Butcher and Nick Gage defeat Dreamer Incredible. I'll let the game decide. Holy moly, Tommy Dreamer, you suck. Yes, Necro Butcher pins Tommy Dreamer with an Asiatic spike. Everyone performing very well in the hardcore style match here. Everyone with a 70 or above, except for Justin Credible. Tommy Dreamer 74, Necro 71, Nick Gage with a 70. Justin Credible was just not incredible tonight with a 61. How do you feel about this match, Jed? How do you feel about Tommy Dreamer being in his first ever pay-per-view match for WWE?
Tommy didn't dream big enough, let's just say that.
He didn't. I think this is our first time seeing him in the WWE. How do you feel about his run in WCW? Was there anything you could have done more? Did he do all that he could, and it was just time for him to go?
I think he probably did all he could do. I mean, Tommy Dreamer had a very up and down little run in WCW. I mean, there was that time where he was the anti-hardcore guy. I think that was probably the most over he ever was. He was a heel. I know he had a banger of a U.S. Championship match against Chris Benoit. You know, the guy. I think he could have done more, but also I feel like maybe he did all he could. I'm excited to see what you do with your new blossoming hardcore division.
My blossoming hardcore division. I think I'm going to raise your volume just a little bit. I think you're a little low right now.
Okay. I can just scream into my microphone too.
Can you raise your volume on your microphone?
Probably.
There's a little knob on it. I have raised you all that I could.
How do I sound now?
That's perfect.
Perfect.
That's perfect. All right. Yeah, what Chad said about Tommy Dreamer, I've already forgot. So we move on. Our last pre-show match we won. Again, we got the high flying, we got the tag team, we got the hardcore. Now we showcase our, I think, the best women's division in all of professional wrestling. With our newest signee, again, All Japan Women's Wrestling, a great company. We have seen a lot of people come over from that company and really blossom in the WWE. We've seen our women's match tonight with Yumatsu and Nagayo. We've seen Minami Toyota become a former WWF Women's Champion from All Japan. We've seen Aja Kong come over here and fight China. We've seen the influx of wrestlers from that company, and it does not stop there, because coming in from All Japan Women's Wrestling, a woman that has fought Yumatsu a bunch of times still over there. It is Hikaru Furukawa taking on Cutie Suzuki. And yeah, Furukawa wins in 10-24 with a rider kick. Chad, I'm not even going to ask what you know about Hikari over here. So I'm just going to ask you, are you ready for WrestleMania?
I am ready for WrestleMania.
Oop, I didn't hit the button. Let's get right into it. Let's move.
Kill me with anticipation.
And Jim Ross and Michael Cole here, Chad. Welcome, everybody. We are live in Seattle, Washington, here at the T-Mobile Park. And we are here for the granddaddy of them all, WrestleMania 19, and live in front of 47,000 people, Chad. And the crowd is going excited. They're going wild. The whole arena looks great. You know, these baseball parks, these baseball stadiums, they always have this unique feel and look to them when you see them on TV. And this is no exception. If you look back to what WrestleMania 19 was, I think it was at technically Safeco Field. I think T-Mobile Park was this is the new name for it. Safeco Field was the old name. It just has a cool look to it. And this is no exception. We are here. We are live, and we go over the Michael Cole and Jim Ross. They go over the card, headlined by these three massive main event matches. Randy Orton defends his WWE World Heavyweight Championship against Brock Lesnar. The Future versus the Beast. We see Don Fry going one-on-one in Hell in a Cell against the dead man himself, The Undertaker, and our main event, the final boss against the GOAT. It's Misawa, it's Flair, two of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time go at it one-on-one in our main event of the night. But we start off with a match that everybody has been dying to see for months now. They have been clamoring for this matchup. It is between the reigning and defending Raw Tag Team Champions. It's Edge and Christian against Gabriel Burton and Dylan Martin. Chad, this is a match everybody wants to see, especially because of the lead up happening on the last few Monday Night Raws. If I can read my notes, Chad, it all started back at the Royal Rumble. We're Burton and Martin. They threw out Edge and Christian. There's been a little jealousy, a little bit of dissension between the group because Edge and Christian, they just did not want to give their title opportunities to Burton and Martin. They said they weren't ready, and that put a little bit of a sour taste in Burton and Martin's mouth. And we saw at No Way Out where Edge is wondering where the hell Burton was at. Because Dylan Martin was there the whole time, but Gabriel Burton was not there the whole time. He was not happy about this. And we saw on the second week of Monday Night Raw, Chad, we saw Martin and Burton. The only way to mend this relationship, they said to Edge and Christian, was a title shot, right? A title opportunity. They're ready. And Edge slaps Gabriel Burton for that. He slaps him right in the mouth. They said, and he raises up this title and he says, "This is what you want? You guys think you deserve this? We put you on our backs. We let you into the United Empire. And this is the disrespect you come with. You want our championships? That's enough. That's what's wrong with this generation. You kids have no respect for your elders, for the men that put you on this map. And if you have no respect, me and Christian Cage will gladly slap it into you." And they go to slap Gabriel again, and Dylan Martin grabs Edge's hand, and they start fighting, Chad. They start fighting. They start fighting, and that has led into this match. We also saw a couple weeks ago where Edge and Christian looked at Chris Jericho and Teddy Hart backstage after cutting a promo on Martin and Burton and says, "You guys better fall in line too, or you guys will regret it as well." We're going in to Edge and Christian versus Dylan Martin and Gabriel Burton. We saw a couple, even last week, Gabriel Burton and Dylan Martin were doing the runs on podcasts. They were on Podcast Row at StarCast, Chad. They were doing they were doing their advertisement, and Edge and Christian beat them down at StarCast, Chad.
Damn.
Beat him down at StarCast. It has all led to this match. It's Dylan Martin and Gabriel Burton. The crowd on their side here. They're taking on what we've called the tag team champions of the game. Like, they're the greatest tag team of all time. It's Edge and Christian, followed behind by Chris Jericho and Teddy Hart. Chad, tag team belts on the line. The first matchup of the night. It's Edge and Christian against Dylan Martin and Gabriel Burton. Who do you have in this matchup?
I think it's time to make some stars, Justin. I am going Burton and Martin. BM, as I call them.
I also call them BM, Chad. Just in my notes, I call them BM. It's easier to write down their initials instead of their whole names, and it's a good pick, Chad. It's a good pick, right? It would only make sense to put the belts on them, but after an unbelievable match, Edge goes for the spear, Chad. Edge goes for the spear.
He should have went for the missile drop.
Yeah, that's on him, right? That's on him.
Yeah, exactly.
Gabriel Burton jumps out of the way, Chad. He jumps out of the way. Dylan Martin tags himself in and hits his finishing move on Christian Cage, who runs in and then turns around and Edge, and he's antsing him up. He's like, get up, get up, get up. The fans are on their feet. They know what's come. Dylan Martin hits the end of days and pins. I mixed the names around. It doesn't matter. Martin and Burton win the tag team titles here at WrestleMania 19 in front of 47,000. Martin and Burton are your new tag team champions.
Anytime you open up with a 99, you know you're in for a good show.
Yeah, Edge and Christian just just doing their thing. You know, that's what they do. All right, Gabriel Burton and Dylan Martin, though. So what you missed on Monday Night Raw, I should have went over this, is GM Foley. Right? GM Foley, well, we'll get into it later, actually. But let's not take away from the celebration that finally, after all these scratching and clawing, after everything they've done, Dylan Martin and Gabriel Burton have won the WWE Tag Team Champions, defeating their mentors, the men that brought them their whole way in, Edge and Christian, and in a wonderful and exciting opening to WrestleMania 19.
Starting their own empire.
And after the match, Christian and Edge and Christian sulk to their back, and that leaves Jericho and Teddy in the middle. Who do they go with? And they slide back in the ring, and they celebrate with Gabriel Burton and Dylan Martin, which infuriate Edge and Christian here tonight. Wow, what a match it is. What a show. What an opening to the show, Chad. It only gets better from here because GM Foley, Mick Foley, is warming up. The combine for the first ever draft pick in the 2003 draft is tonight, where him and Eric Bischoff will go one-on-one in NFL combine drills to see who will get the first pick. Because Eric Bischoff said, I know you'll beat me in a match, Mick, but I know I can run a faster 40 than you old bastard. You old sack of shit. That comes later, but Jim Foley is getting ready for
that.
What?
I can't wait for that.
Backstage, though, Chad, Ric Flair and John Cena, they're back there talking. They're studying up. Ric Flair has the chance to become even more of the best of all, the greatest of all time. He has the chance to become a 14-time world heavyweight champion. He's in the main event again against Masawa. But first, we have to get into a match that I'm excited for, Chad. And you should also be excited for it as well. Let me flip my book. I gotta really write better. If I'm gonna write notes, I'm gonna need to write them down in a way that I can read them. Because up next, Chad, it is a match to determine the new number one contender for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. It's Triple H versus Kurt Angle, Chad.
The number one contenders match, you said?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes. Chad, let's rewind a couple weeks to Monday Night Raw, if you do remember, where Triple H He took on Psychosis in a one-on-one match, and he defeated the former World Heavyweight Champion. He grabbed the microphone and says, look, there's not a man in that locker room back there that could lace up my boots, that could step with me in the ring and go one-on-one. There's no one back there that can do it. The next week, Kurt Angle, right? Kurt Angle talks to Kevin Kelly and says, look, I heard what Hunter said. And Triple H might be a great wrestler, but I still got a bone to pick with Triple H. Triple H then calls him out later that night, right, Chad? He calls him out later that night, and they, I don't know why he called him out, actually. Oh, no, I read the note wrong because I was the next week. Triple H calls him out, Chad. The next week, he called Kurt Angle out. All right, he heard what he said about him with Kevin Kelly, and he's like, Kurt, do we need to go over this? Do we need to go over our overall one-on-one record? I'm 4-0 against you, Kurt. You've never beaten me. You've never. And you're barely a world champion. Hell, you got it stripped as soon as you fucking won it, Kurt. And Kurt shuts him up. Hunter. I get it. It's such a shame that with such an insane talent, you're also such a fucking prick. Sorry, my language. It's shamed that all this great physique, the charisma that you have, it's such a shame that it's wasted on you. On someone who's such an asshole. Hell, maybe this is why Shawn left. Ooh. And Triple H says, fuck you, Kurt.
I'd imagine at this point, too, there's like a, you're an asshole. Clap, 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 clap.
And that is right there where Triple H challenged Kurt Angle to a match. And then, all right, Chad, GM Foley announces that, let's make it spicy. Let's make it interesting. I've seen you guys wrestle over and over again, but there's been nothing on the line. But let's have something on the line tonight. The winner of that match at WrestleMania will walk in to Raw the next night as number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. And that's why we're here, Chad. We're here for this match. It's Triple H coming out, and it's Kurt Angle, the Olympic hero, coming out, Chad. Who do you got in this match between Triple H and Kurt Angle?
You know how much I've been wanting Kurt Angle to finally get his moment. And I know he was like the interim champion for a little bit, but it wasn't long enough. And I think he's due for a big WrestleMania win. I think he needs the win. And you know what, you swore, so I'm gonna swear a little bit too. Fuck Triple H.
Yeah. Let's next segment. Triple H defeats. I'm joking. Kurt Angle defeats Triple H in 30-29 in an unbelievable WrestleMania match.
99s in a row.
Kurt Angle. That streak's not going to continue.
So much better. So much better than
We haven't even announced that pay-per-view change yet, Chad. Don't spoil it yet. The fans still think it's Rising Sun. Kurt Angle defeated Triple H in 30-29. An unbelievable match. And Kurt Angle's first ever match coming out on top against Triple H. What a match this was. That means Kurt Angle is your new number one contender. And what a last 6 months it's been for Kurt Angle, right? He's gone toe-to-toe with the boss Vince McMahon, and it seems like he has come out on top, and he is the number one contender. We have to give our props to Kurt because he's a massive star. He's the only one in the game right now with 100 pop. He got 100 in the ring right here. It's unbelievable, Chad. Unbelievable. And now
good for Kurt Angle. It's about damn time.
It's about damn time, Chad. And now we move on.
It's damn time.
Mark Johnson, Dirty Dick Mark Johnson and Earl Hebner, the referees are out here to start building the set, building the props for the King of the Mountain match, Chad. A match that
I thought they were wrestling. I thought you were doing Mark Johnson and Sterling for a second.
I know you've missed some TV time, but that's not one of my.
Kane is special guest referee.
This is one of my favorite matches besides the Rumble, because this could change someone's career trajectory, because they could come in just a mid-carder, someone who's got a role but just can't get over that hump, and automatically earn a World Heavyweight Championship title opportunity. This is a career-changing match, and it's always fun because this time I don't think there's a clear-cut guy. We've seen Triple H in previous years. We've seen Alex Wright. We've seen the big-name guys. I don't think there's a main eventer in terms of what the game decides as main eventers in this match here tonight, Chad. That's a lie. There is one. I lied. I'm sorry. I lied to you. Please forgive me, Chad. Please forgive me. Do you want me to hit next segment, or do you want me to go over who's in the match and who they beat to get in?
Yeah, let's do that. I would love to know, because I have no idea who's in it. So I would love to know.
All right.
Other than Dan.
Yes. So Chris Daniels, I'll announce as number 1 in this match, Chad. But he's coming out later, so I will not announce him yet. We'll start with Chavo Guerrero Jr., who lost a loser leaves town at No Way Out against Latin Lover, moved to Monday Night Raw on the start of this month, and he defeated Sean Morley, which we'll get into later, a couple weeks ago on Monday Night Raw to qualify for this match itself. So Chavo Guerrero is going to be your first entrant. Chad, how do you like that for the King of the Ring, King of the Mountain? It doesn't matter. We'll get right. It doesn't. Chavo. Yeah, fuck Chavo. For the first guy on SmackDown, we'll get El Hijo del Santo, who defeated. Is he been back? Yeah, he's been back for a little bit.
I must have just forgotten, because I was like, he's back.
Yeah, the whole big storyline of Chavo going to Mexico and him getting dragged out of it. He got rescued by Del Santo. Del Santo, who defeated Chad Collier on week 2's episode of Friday Night SmackDown, qualified. Get over it, Chad. Get over it. Del Santo is in. We also see PJ Black. PJ Black is entrant number 3. He was automatically put in by Stephanie because Vince McMahon is out and Stephanie is taking over as the acting CEO of WWE. For SmackDown, Stevie Richards is going to be your 4th entrant. He defeated Kid Cash in week 1 of Friday Night SmackDown. Stevie Richards, he's a man. He beat John Cena at SummerSlam. He's not a man to fuck around with here.
That might be my pick.
Entrant 5 and 6, Chad. A team right here, Chad. A team. Major League Grappling, Chris Jericho and Teddy Hart. They defeated Mark Henry and Psychosis on week 3 of Monday Night Raw to enter the King of the Mountain. That's what I said with the main eventer. Chris Jericho is technically in the match, Chad.
Can you cash in the King of the Mountain briefcase on Tag Champions?
You can tag it in on whatever you want.
Interesting.
But he would only be a one-man tag team. So we also see on Friday Night SmackDown Latin Lover. Latin Lover, who defeated Valentino to qualify for the King of the Ring. Latin Lover, who's now with a man known as Mike Awesome and Mystico. They're now known as the Awesome Lovers. How do you feel about that stable right there?
That's hilarious. I love that.
Number 8 and 9, Chad, will go over. It's Chris Daniels and Jeff Jarrett. Daniels, who defeated Fig, and Jeff Jarrett in the upset, maybe not an upset, but in the biggest qualifying match we've had, defeated C.W. Anderson to qualify here. C.W. Anderson, who's been on the roll, just could not get the job done against Jeff Jarrett. So Daniels and Jarrett are both in the King of the Mountain, and that leaves one more entrant, and my favorite entrant, a man that defeated Jushin Liger on the first week of Monday Night Raw in March to qualify. Everybody, they get on their feet for the Stud Muffin. Scott Studd has qualified for the King of the Mountain match.
Hell yeah. That's my pick. Fuck it. Stud Muffin, baby.
Scott Studd qualifying for King of the Mountain. There's your 8 guys right there. Stud, PJ Black, Jericho, Teddy Del Santo, Latin Lover, Richards, and Chavo. And they are followed out by Jeff Jarrett, Chris Daniels, and Scotty 2 Hotty, who come out performing their new hit song, Kings of the Mountain Part 2. Because remember, the first one was with Jimmy Jacobs, Frankie Kazarian, and, oh God, Teddy Hart was part of that clique, wasn't he? Holy moly. Yeah. Chad, you have predicted Scott Studd to win. Do you still go with Scott Studd, Chad?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Are you a stud muffin?
I'm a stud. I'm a stud muffin, baby. I want the stud of the mountain to win.
Stud of the mountain is something I wish I would have heard because I would have made him win, but I'm joking. This match, so these guys beat the fuck out of each other, Chad. These guys beat the absolute piss out of each other, and the fans are clearly behind Scott Studd. They're Scott Studd. The stud muffins are in force, and with everyone knocked out, Scott Studd takes out Stevie Richards, and Scott Studd climbs to the top, and the fans are they're like, yeah, Studd, and he's about to reach for it, and then Latin Lover, that little grimy prick, Chad, prick with Michael, he pulls Scott Studd down and then into the arms of Mike Awesome, who awesome bombs Scott Studd over the top rope outside of the arena. No one there to catch him because Mike Awesome is an asshole. Scott Studd taking a back bump for no reason outside of the ring. Then Latin Lover climbs to the top, and he's about to win. And then from the top rope with a diving missile drop kick to kick Latin Lover off the top, Chavo Guerrero kicks him down, and then they start brawling. And then look who gets the ladder together, gets it, puts the ladder back up, and Chris Daniels puts Jeff Jarrett on his shoulders and climbs to the top to help Jeff Jarrett win the King of the Mountain. The match this is his match, Chad, and Jeff Jarrett wins.
I mean, I like it. I love it. I mean, I love Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett has been on a run, and it makes sense that he would win the match that he invented.
It makes sense.
Hell yeah. Give me world champion Jeff Jarrett. Hell yeah.
Look, if there was anyone that deserves it more than him, there's no one. Jeff Jarrett, a longtime guy, one of the longest tenured men of this company, right? He's been here since the beginning.
I'd kill to have Jeff Jarrett.
And Jarrett,
I love
a man that people have been clamoring. He's never been a world champion, and a man that is the reason why this match exists. He created this match. He's the founder of the King of the Mountain, and he's never won it. He's been in them all, but he's never won it. And it finally happened with his stablemate, with his boy, Chris Daniels. The first time he's ever had one of his friends in this match. He finally gets it done, and he gets that King of the Mountain briefcase. Jeff Jarrett is your briefcase holder. Wow, what a match. 94 from Jeff Jarrett. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like, you know what? I think Justin. I think an apropos comparison. And I haven't had him. I haven't had him for the entire run, so maybe it's not quite the same. But I feel like he's like the Ken Shamrock of WWE, a guy who gives you a banger of a match, and everyone's clamoring to see do more.
Okay, I like that. That's a good comparison. Shout out Ken Shamrock. Yeah. So Jeff Jarrett is your winner of the King of the Ring in 2003, man. That's a Jeff Jarrett world title run. It's going to be insane. He did fight Misawa before. He did lose to him before, so maybe he goes the Raw route, champ. The draft is tomorrow, so yeah, I don't know.
If Mick Foley can win the combine, maybe Jeff Jarrett gets drafted over the number 1 overall.
Yes, maybe if he does win the combine, but that will have to wait because we have Brock Lesnar warming up backstage. Chad, the Beast is going to be unleashed on his former friend Randy Orton later tonight. But up next, Chad, it's time. We see the Hell in a Cell, structure being lowered down because it's Don Fry and the Undertaker time. Chad, what a fucking feud this is. Just out of context, if I ever if I saw a Don Fry Taker match in real life, I would have been hooked for the rest of my life. All right, there would have been no me leaving. There would have been no me watching Steven Regal kiss Vince McMahon's ass and said, "I'm good with wrestling. I don't want to watch anymore." No, because if the next segment was Fry Taker, oh, I take my money. Take my money. All right, because I love both these guys in real life, and they're here tonight, Chad. We saw at no. This all. Remember, picture Royal Rumble, Chad. The Taker man is about to win the Rumble until the lights turn out.
Taker man.
The Rumble. He's about to win the Rumble, and the Taker man, the lights go out, and Don Fry in a hood, in a dark hood, like one of those obelisk men. What are they? What are Taker's little boys come out? His druids. His obelisk. Don Fry, dressed as a druid, eliminates The Undertaker. And at No Way Out, Don Fry beat The Undertaker with a brass knuckle one-hit punch. But tonight, Chad, tonight it all comes down to hell in a cell. Don Fry said he killed The Undertaker on the SmackDown following No Way Out. He said he killed him. All right? There is no dead man because he is dead, man. Get it? Until the lights go out and we hear a gong, and The Undertaker, his voice fills the arena, and all he just says is, "You may have won the battle, Fry, but you haven't won the war, boy." Then next week on Friday Night SmackDown, the gong hits again, and The Undertaker starts coming out. The Undertaker is here on Friday Night SmackDown. And then he takes off the hood and it's just Don Fry. And he says, nah. He's not scared of these scare tactics. You can't get into Don Fry's head. You can't scare me, Taker. Where are you? Come out and let's end this. And then again, the gong hits. And on the screen, Taker says, "I'm going to win this battle, though." And then a lightning strike hits, and it hits Arn Anderson, lighting him in flames in the middle of the ring right next to Don Fry, where that's how we end SmackDown, with medical trying to save Arn Anderson here tonight, Chad. And that's my Friday Night SmackDown.
Did they make it in time?
What?
Did they make it in time?
The next week, Don Fry. And on the go home, Chad, the go home, Don Fry defeating Kane on the go home, and he calls out Taker. He says, "Taker, where the fuck are you? Arn, let's end this, Taker." And Taker says, "Now you're talking my language, boy." Don Fry, at WrestleMania, you walk into hell. And when I'm done with you, I will reunite you with Arn Anderson. And that's how we get to Don Fry and The Undertaker here, Chad. Who do you have? Hell in a Cell. Don Fry, The Undertaker.
This is probably one of the ones that I'm not super confident about. I know how much of a Don Fry fan you are, but I'm going to say that I think The Undertaker gets the win.
Chad will predict The Undertaker. Now, the beauty of me not having this streak anymore at WrestleMania is I can have these matches where someone else can walk in with The Undertaker and wrestle him and not have an automatic predict of Taker winning. I've ended that. I don't want that. I don't want that already in my company. I hate that. I get it. It's cool in real life. I don't want predictability. All right. Stone Cold beating Taker was crazy. Stone Cold beating the Cops, different story. Didn't happen. All right. But Taker. This match, it's Hell in a Cell, Chad. It ends with The Undertaker tombstoning Don Fry on the top of the cell, and it gets the job done. Taker defeats Don Fry here with a choke slam. 27-17. Unbelievable match. 99. What more can I say? The Undertaker sends Don Fry to hell.
Even with a lack of selling and Don Fry off his game, they still squeak out a 99.
Yeah, Don Fry off his game can go fuck himself for that.
Yeah.
That's the biggest show of the night. What the hell?
An 86 when you're off your night is still pretty solid.
And then, yes, The Undertaker, he sends Don Fry to hell as he throws him off the top of the cell.
Your soul has been taken by the Taker Man.
He sends him right where Arn Anderson is, who, Chet, I will say Arn Anderson is not dead. In storyline, he is, but for legal purposes, we did not kill Arn Anderson here on Friday Night SmackDown. All right, but storyline, it's the Vince McMahon storyline. All right. We've had to deal with the FIA or the TSA or whatever the fucking TV companies are. Like, we've had a lot of calls about Friday Night SmackDown. People are saying that you've killed a man with a lightning strike, and yeah, you've.
Arn Anderson's coming back. He's gonna have an illegitimate son. All right, it's all according to plan.
You've traumatized millions of children around the world with you killing a man on TV, and we can't have that again. And I say, because I'm Vince, go fuck yourself. And I end the phone call. So, fuck you guys. All right, Chad. You seem most excited about this segment, so let's just get into it.
Hell yeah, the combine, baby.
Chad not giving a fuck about the rest of the card and caring about Mick Foley running a 5.6 40 is unbelievable. Yes, so we just do a little combine. We have 3 drills. We have the 40 drill, Chad. We have the bench press, who can get the most bench press reps in of 225 pounds. And, Chad, the final one. The final combine skill that these two will go in it. You know, it's that one drill where they have to run and catch footballs.
Oh,
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. No, I'm joking. It's the height. It's the height one. It's the height jump.
Oh.
It's the broad
nice. Cool.
or the broad jump. Whatever one you want to do. Let's do the broad jump. Let's do the broad jump. I'm changing it on the fly. Broad jump. Where they got to jump as far as they can. Dude, Mick Foley's not an athlete, Chad. He's not an athlete.
I mean, here's Eric Bischoff.
He is more of an athlete in the 40-yard drill because Eric Bischoff runs a 5.9 in the 40, right? Mick Foley, he runs a 7.41 in the 40-yard dash. Not a good score at all right? All right, almost double of what like Chris Johnson in the NFL would run. We move to the bench press where the stats change. It's opposite, right? It's opposite.
I would have to assume he does better here.
Mick Foley does 11 bench presses. Eric Bischoff does 1. Does 1. And now the tides are tied. Mick Foley against Eric Bischoff and a long jump contest. And right as Mick Foley's about to do it, Eric Bischoff yells, I almost said an awful word. I almost yelled wiener. he yells, what does he yell, Chad? What does Eric Bischoff yell at Mick Foley to get him off his game as he's jumping and can, like, trick him? I mean, not trick him, but, like, stumble his focusedness. You pick the word. Yell a word out loud. Come on.
Kumquat.
He yells kumquat, and Mick Foley hears come and stumbles on his jump, only jumping 4 inches. Awful. And Eric Bischoff just has to jump 4 inches, and he does. He jumps a couple feet, and Eric Bischoff wins the GM Combine, Chad. I skipped it. Oh, it's... Did I skip it? It's the next segment. But before that, Chad, it's our sponsors of the Pizza Hut. Charlie St. Hubbins and Timmy Pulver and their coach, the coach of the old high school team, the coach himself, Jonathan Coachman. They're eating pizza, and Randy Savage and Orlando Jordan come in, and they want pizza. And coach says, boys, and Charlie St. Hubbins throws a football, and Timmy Pulver catches it and then trucks over Savage and Orlando Jordan and throws the football and his pizza down on the ground as a spike, like Rob Gronkowski would do in the NFL. And all 3, St. Hubbins, Pulver, and Coach, the hometown heroes, do a belly slap against, like they jump up and hit bellies, celebrating their big Pizza Hut sponsorship. Oh, this is the GM. It's the Combine. Eric Bischoff wins the Combine. Sorry.
Eric Bischoff. So SmackDown gets the number 1 pick.
SmackDown will get the number 1 overall pick tomorrow night on we're replacing Monday Night Raw. No Raw this week with the WWE Draft Special, which will be live on YouTube. Not live, like we're going to stream it, but will be uploaded onto YouTube as another episode. But up next, Jen, It's a match that you are excited for. I am excited for. The ladies are excited for. It's Sean Morley.
WrestleMania debut, baby.
No, he wrestled last month. Chad, watch the product.
I said WrestleMania debut.
Oh, I thought you said his WWE debut. William Regal. He signed with WWE back in February and appeared at No Way Out, taking on Sean Morley. And what was a great match between the two, but ended in a bad way as Sean Morley DQ'd himself to retain the Intercontinental Championship. And Regal was not a happy camper on Monday Night Raw, Chad. He says those actions, Sean Morley, those don't represent man actions. You are no man, Sean Morley. And when I get my comeuppance on you, I will walk out the Intercontinental Champion. The next week following that promo, William Regal, Chad, is told in an interview with Kevin Kelly that Sean Morley has a King of the Ring qualifier match against Chavo Guerrero later that night. And with the help of William Regal, hearing that, goes out to the ring and distracts Sean Morley and helps Chavo Guerrero win, infuriating Sean Morley because he wanted to be in the King of the Ring. We go to the next week. William Regal goes one-on-one with his old friend Dean Malenko and defeats him. Afterwards, he grabs a microphone. He tells Sean Morley, who's not up on the stage right now, he says, "Listen, you little twat." He says, listen close. This whole run of yours, this whole hiding, running, disappearing, this whole little act ends at WrestleMania when I not only strip you of the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship, but of your manlyhood. Now, I hope you're listening, Sean Morley. And then they go home, Chad, and Sean Morley says, William Regal, I'm always listening. I'm always watching. But it looks like you haven't. You weren't watching, William Regal. You weren't watching this run I had for the last 6-9 months. This Intercontinental Championship means everything to me. So sorry for me doing whatever I can to keep this thing close to my chest, because this is my life, William Regal. And I'm going to be damn sure I'm not going to let you take it away from me. It's Sean Morley, William Regal, WrestleMania. Who do you have, Chad?
I got William Regal, baby.
William Regal. Oh, I didn't hit next segment. William Regal, in his second pay-per-view match, stretches out little Sean Morley and makes him tap out and will win the Intercontinental Championship here live tonight, Chad. William Regal is your new Intercontinental Champion. Love that, Chad. William Regal. We didn't go over this at No Way Out. Again, the same question I had with you with Tommy Dreamer was, how did you know it was time for William Regal to let him go? Did you think you fulfilled his run in WCW?
I think my biggest regret is that I was never able to get him to be. I was never able to pull the trigger and make him a world champion because I really wanted to. And so I'm excited to see what you do with him. He
was close. He had a couple matches with Minoru Suzuki for the world title. Samoa Joe, I think he wrestled him once.
He was close. I really wanted to.
He was sniffing it for the longest time. You didn't want to pull the trigger. You didn't want to pull the trigger.
I'm very excited to see what you do with him, and I'm very, very excited that he won the Intercontinental title. And fuck Sean Morley, that little coward.
The Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship, Chad. Not the. You got to put the heavyweight in it. All right. Yeah. Fuck Sean Morley, little rat.
It doesn't even say heavyweight there, so.
It's because he didn't have the belt yet. Now it will be. Did you not hear the promo where he said he's going to strip him of the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship? Were you not paying attention?
Listen,
you can't rename the belt you don't have, Chad.
That's fair.
We move on. William Regal celebrating in the middle of the ring. He is now the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion. But we got 4 more matches left, Chad. Have you been entertained with this WrestleMania so far?
Oh yeah, it's been a fun time. I got some Pizza Hut right next to me. No one out Pizza's the Hut, and no one out WrestleMania's Justin.
Yes, because up next, Chad, is a match that I've been waiting for. that I'm also nervous. I know these two girls can go in the ring, but how will it translate to a WrestleMania match? It's Chigusa Nagayo and it's Toshi Uematsu. Women's Royal Rumble winner Nagayo taking on the women's champion Uematsu. Now you're probably wondering, no, you're probably not, because you probably did watch No Way Out, where Toshi Uematsu weaseled their way in with Jim, well, asking Jim, I don't know why I put Jim Foley in this, weaseled her way to winning, getting an opportunity for that women's championship, telling the guy, look, it'll be great. It'll be, sister versus sister, two Japanese-born superstars wrestling for the women's championship. It'll be historic. It'll be monumental. And the guy was never buying it, right? She never bought it the whole time. She was just mad that her sister backstabbed her and, took what it was supposed to be, Nagayo versus Lita. She was very honored to wrestle Lita. She was not wanting to fight her best friend in Uematsu. Uematsu was trying to tell her that in the first week of Monday Night Raw in March. Nagayo just was not buying it over and over again, and that's where Uematsu turned her back on Nagayo. And she looks at her and grabs her. Nagayo's walking away. She puts her hand on her shoulder and says, "This hurts me more than it hurts you." And she clobbers Nagayo. And Miko Sanomura and Uematsu beat her down for the next couple weeks. Just do it. Uematsu, the following week, defeated Kyuji Suzuki and then destroyed Kyuji Suzuki and says, "This is what's going to happen, Nagayo, if you at WrestleMania." And then, week 3, Nagayo taking on a debuting Rhea Tamada in a match. She gets the win. But then Sanomura and Uematsu come out and they surround the ring. They're looking to destroy Nagayo a couple weeks before WrestleMania until the former women's champion Lita comes down to the ring and saves Nagayo. And look, Nagayo grabs the microphone. She says she's got Lita behind her. She's got Lita watching her back. And she's going to do this for all the women who have been bullied, who have been backstabbed for their friends. This one is for them. She's the first ever women's champion, she says. And she's going to walk out women's champion at WrestleMania. It's Nagayo. It's Uematsu, Chad. Who do you have in this match?
Nagayo!
Nagayo wins. Ooh, 85. Okay. 85. Yeah, Nagayo with a running 3 beats her old best friend Uematsu for that women's championship. Nagayo wins the Rumble and wins the championship here. Wow, what a night of professional wrestling this has been. What a win for Chigusa Nagayo, Chad.
Shout out to Uematsu, putting up an 89.
Yeah, she's been really good after she beat China and she beat Lita. She's been out of, her pop is gone, skyrocketed. She's in the 50s now. And she's already been a great wrestler. The issue with my women's division was I brought in a bunch of girls from Japan that weren't over. So, no matter how good they were in ring, they had to be over a little bit to be good. And we're now seeing it with Uematsu being so high rated. That's only Nagayo got a 68. She's very good in ring, but she was only at 33 pop going into this match. So it's not like she's fucking Naomi Toyota or Trish Stratus over. They're getting there. We had to build from the ground up. We literally had to build from the ground up. All right, Chad. I think it's time. But backstage, before the timer starts, Scott Studd, the Stub Muffins, healing, resting up. Scott Studd was so close to winning the King of the Mount match. But close is not going to get it done. He did not win. And Jericho and Chavo come back around into the locker room and they applaud Scott Stubb's performance in that match and says, "Look, kid, you do got it." And that whole time out there, I thought you were gonna win. I was looking out there, and I know Devin's watching over you, Scott. What is so funny about his dead friend watching over him?
Nothing.
Why'd you laugh?
It made me chuckle out of
no, Chad you are an asshole. You are. Speaking of assholes, Chad, we got 3 matches left, and oh man, it's time. It's Randy Orton and it's Brock Lesnar, WWE World Heavyweight Championship on the line. And let's paint the picture here. Chad, I would give you $2 if you remember the pay-per-view they had their opening match at.
Royal Rumble.
Over the Edge 2000. The first ever. You didn't even name a year. Of course you were close. You got one of the pay-per-views. Good for you. The first ever WWE match for Future Shock. The team of Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar. Two guys that had all the hype around them that kind of went different paths if you ever think about it. Randy Orton scratched and clawed working on his wrestling ability. He eventually winning the European Championship, winning the Intercontinental Championship, while on the other side of that team, the other side of that stable, Brock Lesnar immediately right to stardom, winning his first ever Royal Rumble that he participated in, main evented WrestleMania 17, winning the WWE Championship against redacted Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Two different career paths, and that led them to SummerSlam 2002. Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar, Hell in a Cell. Randy Orton killed off Brock Lesnar, and that kind of started the spiral, the start of the climb to stardom for Randy Orton, who proclaimed he was the future, the self-proclaimed future of WWE, Chad. And Randy Orton, he would eventually go on to win this WWE Championship that he is defending tonight at the Raw year-end Super Show when he defeated Alex Wright at the end of 2002. And then Brock Lesnar. He returned following the Rumble this year, winning the Elimination Chamber to get this match in its spot. And now, Chad, Randy Orton. These guys, they brawl for the first couple weeks leading into this match, which even had GM Foley put a no-touching rule. If either one touch each other, this match would be off. Randy, if he touched Brock, that he would be stripped of the championship. There was a lot of Foley wanted this match to happen. This match needed to happen, but he didn't want them to beat the fuck out of each other leading into it. So on that last go home, that last little contract signing, the first ever wrestling contract signing where no man touched each other, no one got put through a table, no one got stabbed by a pen when they were signing, nothing. They just cut a promo against each other. And the lasting quote that was put in that promo, Chad, the lasting quote was Brock Lesnar. He said, "You may have slayed the beast, but this beast doesn't die. And at WrestleMania, I shock the future." A callback to the Future Shock name that brought them into this business. It's Randy Orton. It's Brock Lesnar. World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Pringle, prongle, prangle. Who do you have in this match?
I'm going to go Randy Orton retains.
Brock Lesnar. Randy Orton. I hear voices in my head. They talk to me. They understand. They talk to me.
I thought for sure you'd go with pain. Nothing you could say.
Oh, fuck. You're right. Oh. Hey, nothing you can say. Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar, man, these guys beat the piss out of each other, Chad, but eventually Brock Lesnar will win with an overhead belly-to-belly, and become a 3-time World Heavyweight Champion by defeating Randy Orton in 2903. Brock Lesnar. He's the beast for a reason, Chad. He just will not die unless you throw him.
You shocked the future.
He shocked the future. I thought you were going to react to that line more. I was really sad.
That's good. It was a good line.
Come on now, Chad. And now, Chad, we go into our co-main event. I'm sorry that this runtime has been a while, but we are going into are
WrestleMania should be.
we're going into our co-main event. It's John Cena against Jun Akiyama, a match that has been titled the Dream Match, the Pillar versus the Future, the Ace versus the Pace. Well, I don't remember where I was going with that one. The Face. There we go. So the Pace, the Dream Match. It's Jun Akiyama and John Cena. But how did we get here, Chad? How did we get here? We start Ric Flair, the open Friday Night SmackDown going into the first week of March. He was asked about Masawa, his last dance. This is his final opportunity, possibly, to become world heavyweight champion. Backstage, then Akiyama comes up to them and gives him advice. He took Masawa to the brink just a couple months at Royal Rumble, and he gives Rick that advice, and he tells John Cena, "Look, you remind me of myself. When I came into All Japan Pro Wrestling, I was that hotshot young stud, the number one prospect, the one everyone thought was going to main event whatever the company event was 5 years from now. I was you. I'm looking at you, and I know what you got." And John Cena says, "Thanks, man. That's cool. Next, and then John Cena the following week with a sit-down interview with Kevin Kelly. He says he was honored by those kind words that Jun Akiyama says, and he says Jun was a pillar of All Japan Professional Wrestling, and he says, I view myself as a future pillar of WWE, like his friend Ric Flair." And then he challenges Jun Akiyama to a match. The future versus the pillar. The ace versus the face, as we all say. The dream match, everyone says. Akiyama next week says, "You're on, man. You got it." And they shake hands in the middle of the ring until La Resistance come out, Chad. La Resistance, who come out, who have this is a whole different story, who have Johnny Storm's light heavyweight championship around Rene Dupree's waist. Don't ask why he has it. They stole it a couple weeks prior. Not part of the story. Backstage, Johnny Storm says, "Hey, I got beef with him. You want to have a 3-on-3 match next week with La Resistance?" They do. Cena, Akiyama, and Johnny Storm beat La Resistance. And then Cena and Akiyama, with the camera looking at them with a Wrestlemania sign in the background, stare down each other to end that Friday Night SmackDown. So we get it. Our co-main event, John Cena and Jun Akiyama. Chad, who do you got? John Cena. Whoa, hey, whoa.
I was so excited I punched my microphone.
I think Chad punched his microphone, Chad. Oh, sorry. I got a burp now. Oh, no. Oh, no. John Cena. Jun Akiyama. And a 99. Jun Akiyama defeats John Cena in 31-23 with an exploder. John Cena, a hell of a match against the pillar of All Japan Professional Wrestling. But there's a reason why he's not a pillar of WWE just yet. And he can't get the job done against Jun Akiyama here, Trent.
Damn.
What do you mean, damn?
Sorry, John Cena.
Sorry, John, you only had a 95.
Bad performance for Mr. Cena.
And now, Chad, they say the handshake, and we go to our main event of the night. Ric Flair, the GOAT. The greatest of all time, 13-time world heavyweight champion, against Masawa, the final boss, a man that has not lost in a non-Royal Rumble match in WWE in his 2 years that he's been here. Ric Flair, he came back into the limelight back in October 2002. We didn't see him for 4 months after the Gentleman's Club burned down. We thought, is that the end of Ric Flair in WWE? What's going on? Ric Flair, he comes back in 2002, late 2002 in October, and he teams up with John Cena, a man we just saw in that previous match, a man that could potentially carry this company into the future. It's really like the future and the past teaming up with each other, Ric Flair and John Cena. And that's kind of really sparked a resurgence of youth into Ric Flair. He's looked different. He's looked chippier. He's looked more jubilant in the last couple months. He became United States champion, defeating Latin Lover in great matches to end 2002. He won the freaking Royal Rumble, Chad. A match that no one thought Ric Flair could do, and nonetheless even win. He won the fucking match. He came out and won. 54-year-old Ric Flair. He's now calling this, going into this match, his final dance, his final opportunity, because this could be it for him. He's going against a man that should not be looked upon. Like, he is called the final boss, Ric Flair says, for a reason. The final boss. That's not a gimmick name. That's not a work name. That's a shoot, brother. He is the final boss of professional wrestling. But I am the nature boy. I am the dirtiest player of the game. I am the greatest of all time. A 13-time world heavyweight champion. I've been there. I've done that. I've seen your girl, and I probably kissed her too. Woo! And at WrestleMania, I walk in there. The final dance. And across the dance floor, I see the greatest wrestler of all time next to me. And we are going to have a war to end all wars. Ric Flair and Misawa. I'll see you at WrestleMania. Chad, who do you have in this match?
Give me the Nature Boy.
Ric Flair. Woo!
Mr. 14-time world champion.
Misawa and Rick. Misawa carries Ric Flair's dead corpse through a lot of this match, Chad, because Misawa dominates Ric Flair for the first 20, 25 minutes. Every time Ric Flair pulls out a dirty little move, a little eye poke, trying to get a little bit of momentum, a little bit of pressure back into his side of the Misawa. He ends it. He says no, and either elbows him, punches him, gives him a little fucking DDT for old time's sake. Doesn't matter. Misawa always keeps in control until the end. Ric Flair pulls the referee into the way where Misawa's running into the corner, pulls the referee. The referee's out, Chad. The referee is out. And it wouldn't be a WrestleMania match without a little bit of interference. Hashimoto comes in, goes in for a spinning roundhouse kick, and hits Misawa in the face, Chad. Oh my God. The referee gets up, sees Hashimoto on the apron, and throws out the rest of the final bosses. They're ejected from ringside. The referee, the crowd is going ecstatic because Ric Flair now sees Misawa, who is knocked down from that spinning roundhouse kick from Hashimoto. He goes over, does a little strut, puts Misawa in the figure four. He's gonna do it. He's gonna tap out. Misawa's like, oh no, and he reaches over to the ropes, Chad. He reaches, he grabs the rope, and Ric Flair is in awe. He's like, oh, fuck, that was my... And he gets up, he picks up Misawa, and he hits him with a DDT, Chad. He drops him down, and Ric Flair goes to the top rope. He goes to the top rope to hit that move that he has never hit before. Every time he has ever gone to the top rope in his professional wrestling history, he comes up empty. And is WrestleMania 19 going to be that first time where he hits his move? He jumps, goes in, and misses. Ric Flair went for it all. His home run missed.
High risk, high reward.
High risk, high reward. Misawa is now fully back to normal. Picks him up, hits him with his finish, and Misawa will pin Ric Flair in 31:09 and will end the dance early, defeating Ric Flair.
That was probably the right choice. I kind of had a feeling Misawa was going to win, but I was really hoping for a Ric Flair.
There was time that I would thought about it, but I just thought, how predictable is it to have the Rumble winner win every time? If there was going to be a time where the Rumble winner was not going to win, it was going to be here. Ric Flair just did not have enough in the tank and loses to Misawa and the final bosses. And that's how we end WrestleMania 19, Chad. Misawa still undefeated, still your world champion, still that guy. and it was gonna happen, regardless of if you liked it or not. What did you say?
I said 100 WrestleMania. I think the third one in a row, right? As we saw.
Fourth. 2000 through 2001, 02, 03 now. That's how it comes now, all right? That's just how it is gonna be. And I hope one day you get the Starcades just like this, Chad, too. One day.
Maybe.
Well, I hope.
What?
Well, I hope. But until then, Chad, that was WrestleMania 19. One I've put probably more work into. I say it every year, but I feel like I put more work into the stories, into trying to make it more entertaining for not only you, but the people watching at home. Because now they don't get TV shows anymore, right? It's just pay-per-views. So my storytelling has to improve, and I hope I did a good job at it. Every pay-per-view from WWE will not be an hour and 10 minutes long. It will not happen like that. We'll get cliff notes for every match moving forward, but for this one, we needed to go all out. And I'm not talking AEW.
It was WrestleMania. You have to.
I have to. Out of 10 stars, Chad, what do you give it?
I give it 9.5 out of 10.
Okay. All right. What could I have improved on, Chad, to get that 0.5?
If Chad Collier.
Okay, we will see you for WCW's new pay-per-view. We'll talk about it when we get there.
What's up, guys? We are here for the Classic. Now, Justin, this is a new pay-per-view for WCW because Rising Sun, we're not doing it anymore. It had a good run, but we are no longer in that alliance. And, all good things must come to an end. And we decided to, with this Thunder exclusive pay-per-view, highlight the Cruiserweight Classic, which has always been a prestigious tournament, and now it's getting its own pay-per-view.
I'm very excited for it, Chad. The first ever Cruiserweight Classic.
As you can tell by that logo.
I couldn't hear anything you just said because we talked over each other, so I have no idea what you said, but I agree.
Yeah, I just said, as you can tell by our lovely logo over there.
Oh, yeah, you went all out on this show, didn't you, Chad?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Why get rid of Rising Sun, Chad? The people want to know why get rid of something that was like a breath of fresh air for this save, your first unique and original save. Why get rid of it?
I just think personally, I just wasn't excited about it anymore. I felt like it was fun. It ran its course. But again, I think it was time to call it, and we're also just not in the alliance anymore. So there was that too.
Could have just said that.
Yeah, but I also just didn't really want to do it anymore.
Could have just said that, Chad. It gave us bangers like Ken and Chuck last year, though.
It did give us bangers.
It gave us Tenru and Bobby. Jesus Christ. Yeah, maybe it was good. Fucking left. Masawa Eddie. Yeah, that was cool.
The infamous match.
Dude, look at how many angles you ran, too.
That's weird.
Just straight up fucking, literally on two. This was the card. Kidman, Nagata. Yeah, how the times have changed, Chad. How the times have changed. Let's just get into it. Where are we at tonight, Chad?
We are in, I believe we are in West Virginia. No, we're not in West Virginia. Go ahead and...
No, you got it. Come on, you got it. It's your pay-per-view. You should know where you're at. Come on, big guy. Come on, big dog. You just booked it 10 minutes ago.
MD. Which one is that?
Ask a second grader who should know that.
Well, it's there. Oh no, I lied to you. We're in like North Carolina, actually.
Oh, where are we, Chad? We are in the Comcast Center in Maryland.
Oh, I was right. We're in MD. We're in Maryland.
You're in MD. You're in MD does not count. That you were right. You were not right, but
I don't think we've ever ran a pay-per-view in Maryland. So
we could do the research, but I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want to either.
Let's just run into it. Let's just get into it, Chad. Let's get into...
Start the show. we have here a pre-show match. Now, as you may not have known because we we don't do the shows anymore. Fake Hall and Fake Nash are here, and they've been trying to get Hollywood Hogan, which I think we touched on this on the last pay-per-view because they were definitely there, but they've been trying to get Hollywood Hogan. They told him that we have your back, and Hogan was like, "You're not," and they're not calling themselves Fake Hall and Nash, like they're like calling themselves Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. And Hollywood Hogan, he was like, it's disrespectful to my Hall of Fame brothers, and I don't want your help. So, the fake Hall and Nash have been a thorn in Hollywood Hogan's side. And, Hogan, his friends left. They went to New Japan Pro Wrestling. And so the Harris twins lately have been saying, you know what, Hogan, we don't like them either. And so, and so we got your back here. And so, in this pre-show match, we have a little tag team match. And, Fake Nash, they pinned down Harris after they used the ropes for leverage. They cheated, Justin, and beat the former tag team champions.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen for the Ron and Don Harris. It was just 3 months ago where they defeated the Hart brothers at Starrcade. And now, only 12 wrestling shows later, they are losing on the pre-show to Fake Hall and Fake Nash. How the tables have turned. That's an interesting choice there. There are a couple things that we need to talk about that I forgot to bring up to you that I need to criticize you on off script. Maybe we'll get to it when the match pops up, actually. Okay.
So we see it's one of those like little hype packages, and I couldn't get everybody I wanted in this hype package because some of them don't work for this company anymore, but it basically just shows like a montage of the Cruiserweight Classic, and we see some of our great winners. We see a clip of like Shannon Moore, we see a clip of Chef in there too, but it's basically like the video package is saying like Chef Psychosis, a former legend, and basically the hype package just basically says like, this tournament has always established not just the face of the cruiserweight division, but like future champions. And one man is going to have the opportunity to make a name for themselves, to solidify a legacy, and it all comes down to the Classic. And we see in the middle of the ring the gold Classic champions jacket that the great winner of the Classic will dawn upon, Justin. And they've been hyping up this jacket and this tournament all month. WCW, they're all in on this tournament. And, one man is going to walk away the Classic winner. And we will go more into that. We will go more into that as we go into this tournament.
Yes, we will. Let's get into it.
Yes. So our first match, as you see here, Chris Sabin from WWE is here. And Chris Sabin, he is in the Cruiserweight Classic. And Chris Sabin has defeated, so he beat Fake Hall.
Time out. Did you eat your mic? What's going on?
I don't eat my mic. Am I?
I'll play it back when we're done with this. There was about 4 seconds where it sounded like you fell over and you crashed into your desk, and then it sounded like your mic was in your mouth.
Well, that's not good.
But it sounds like you're quiet now, though. But whatever.
Okay. Chris Sabin, he entered the tournament. He defeated Fake Hall, and then he defeated Charlie Haas in the next round. And he's going up against a man who, he's one half of the tag team champions, but he also feels like he has something to prove. He says the Hart name, mainly Owen Hart, the reputation of Owen Hart, he says, has been tarnished, and he is looking to regain the glory, because after all, he's a goddamn Hart. And he says, I need to prove to myself and to all of you that I'm still Owen goddamn Hart, and I still have what it takes to win the big one. And so, he entered the tournament, and Brett wasn't too happy about it at first because, of course, they are the tag team champions. But, Brett's going to support his brother and his partner. So he says, you know what? Let's go win a Classic. And Owen defeated Aguila in the first round, and then he beat Achilles in the second round. And now we have Sabin versus Owen Hart next.
Who was Achilles?
Achilles, that is the repackaged Just Incredible.
That's not true. Chris.
Oh, not Just Incredible. Sorry, Evan Courageous. I don't know why I said Just Incredible. I meant Evan Courageous. He's been repackaged as a Roman warrior, Achilles. because he's Greek.
Let me tell you the struggle we had when we were trying to auto name Evan Courageous, and we did not realize he was Greek, and that the auto namer would only produce Greek names, and we were fucking starstruck. We didn't know what the fuck to do.
So then we left it as just Achilles. And Justin, in our opening contest tonight, and about that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Owen Hart defeats Chris Sabin in 14-18 with a sharpshooter.
He does. That he does. Noted cruiserweight Owen Hart defeats former WWE light heavyweight champion Chris Sabin. Good matchup here.
And Owen Hart advances into the semifinals of the Cruiserweight Classic. And we see here backstage, we see Bobby Eaton, Booker T, and Ace Steel. Now he says, Booker T is going to face off against Juventud Guerrera tonight in an ambulance match. And this is not just the night where Booker T once again defeats Juventud Guerrera. No, this is the night where we finally destroy Juventud Guerrera, because after we send Juventud to the hospital via that ambulance, he will never come back. He's not going to wrestle again. He'll never cash in that Money in the Bank briefcase. He's nothing. He's done because he's selfish, he's arrogant, and he's overrated. And Booker T marks his ascension to glory tonight. That is just one of our many matches. But Justin, we have here
lots of matches.
So the story going on for this matchup, see, TJ Wilson, he has defeated Shark Boy, and then he defeated Super Eric. But there's a little bit of an asterisk next to these wins, Justin, because the Buried have interfered in every single round of this Cruiserweight Classic, helping TJ Wilson get the win. Joey Mercury came over from WWE and entered the tournament. And Mercury, if Chris Sabin defeated Fake Hall, well, guess what? Mercury defeated Fake Nash, and then he defeated Lance Storm in the second round. And tonight he goes one-on-one against TJ Wilson.
TJ Wilson. Shout out Joey Mercury being here tonight, Chad. Shout out former WWE superstar. Former tag team champion, 2-time tag team champion Firehouse. That's crazy. But in terms of WWE, guys, loses again here on WCW.
After a run-in from York, Justin, the pattern continues as TJ Wilson punches his ticket into the semifinals of the Classic. Justin, what a cheating bastard.
Yeah, he's cheated at every fucking match this tournament. So, yeah, he's a little scumbag bitch. I was surprised that York lost.
York did lose. Earlier in the tournament, he wrestled Homicide.
Yeah, I hate to do this again, but it's like, are you like moving back and forth in your room?
No.
Oh man, there's about every maybe minute and a half, there's about a 4 to 6 second span where it sounds like your microphone is literally in your mouth.
Oh, here, let me back up a little bit.
Well, no, because when you're doing it regular, you're not loud enough. But then every 4 seconds, every like very little bit, it sounds like you're too loud, and I can't. It's. You'll hear it when you watch the video back. You'll hear it. Juventud and Jeremy Bormash. I had a stroke trying to say everything there.
That's okay.
My brain just fell down.
Jeremy Borash walks up to Juventud Guerrera and he says, listen, I don't know if you heard what Bobby Eaton, Booker T, and Ace Steel had to say tonight, but they threatened to end your career tonight. And Juventud Guerrera, he says, you know what? The Eaton Coalition, they've been out to get me for the last 2 months, and you know what? Maybe I am selfish. Maybe I am arrogant. Maybe I am not the most liked person in that locker room, but I gotta tell you.
Nope. No, you're not.
My friends, but the friends that I do have, the people that have been with me since the beginning,
they went to WWE.
Well, one's in the Classic. They'll say one thing about me is they know that I'm stubborn as hell, and they know that I never back down from a fight. All right, they say I'm going to war alone tonight, but I'm not by myself. You know why? Because in one hand, I've got the Money Bank briefcase, but more importantly, in my other hand, I've got the ring bell from hell. And guess what? I'm going to bring that to me. And if you want to send me to the ambulance, you're going to have to send me to an ambulance in a casket because you're going to have to kill me tonight. Because Booker T, tonight, I'm going to put you in that ambulance and you're going to the hospital. And if I'm wrong, if this is the night that Juventud Guerrera goes down, well, hell, Jeremy, I'm going to go down fighting. Booker T, the time for talk is over. I'll see you out there.
There's a fucking casket match now. Ambulance in a casket. Grandma on a pole match.
A grandma on a pole match. Justin, this match is taking place because during the match, Truth defeated, Truth defeated Sema in the first round of the Classic. Sema defeated Truth in the first round of the Classic. And then Truth interfered in the second round, costing Sema against a match against a man that we will talk about later on in the match. And Truth and Steve Corino, and Corino lost earlier in the first round as well. They got mad, and so they attacked and screwed Sema and called them out and challenged Sema and Aguila to a tag team match at the Classic. And this is what we have here. Two teams that don't like each other.
I don't like either one of them either.
Well.
Oh, wow. Fair. The Fed guy loses again. 0 for 3.
But about that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Truth or chairs defeat the Quick City Kingpins when Truth pinned Aguila with a Truth or Consequences.
Again, man, it's so confusing sometimes, man. The Quick City Kingpins probably should have won this match.
Well, they didn't.
How many babyface tag teams do you have?
Quick City Kingpins.
Yeah, and they lost.
I
feel like you just got a bunch of heel stables.
Well, listen.
Where's the big babyface tag team of the division? The Chad's confused now. He's trying to think. I honestly don't know. You don't have that tag team that's like that big babyface tag team. The Harris twins aren't it. Brett and Owen are tweeners, so they don't count. The fucking Truth and Chairs are heels. World Greatest Tag Teams are heels. Fake Hall and Nash are heels. Who am I forgetting here, Chad? The Wicked, heels. Wild Boys, heels. Big Daddy V and the Heyman Boys, heels.
Big Show and Billy are babyface.
Well, we're going to get into that when we get to that match, Chad. Oh, we are going to have a talk. Oh, they're not here tonight, are they?
They're not. This is a Thunder pay-per-view.
Okay, do you want to talk about... Are you going to go over what happened on Nitro then?
Sure, yeah. The go-home... the Week 4 Nitro, I was going to say the go-home Nitro, but it wasn't really a go-home. There's no pay-per-view. We had Title Monday on Nitro, a special episode of Nitro where not all of the championships, Big Daddy V and the U.S. belt, but 3 championships were on the line. And listen, Beth Phoenix cashed in the Money in the Bank and won the Women's Championship on Toyota after Toyota got into an altercation with her friend Nicole Bass. Nicole Bass was sick and tired of the disrespect Toyota was giving her and attacked her. And Beth Phoenix cashed in. And in the main event, Justin, Billy Gunn and The Big Show put their tag belts on the line against the team of Suzuki and Benoit. Now, Benoit was forced to join the Paul Heyman guys, of course. And, he was, his head just wasn't in it. And it was pissing off Suzuki because he's like, listen, I don't give a damn if you like Paul Heyman. All right? You're in my business now. And I want these tag team championships. So if we need to get on the same page by you letting out some of these frustrations and getting in a good old-fashioned fight, I'll fight you right now. I'll fight you tonight. But after we're done fighting, we got to go to battle as tag team partners. And so they went at it. They had a big match. And then at that big match, Justin, it must have paid off because Suzuki and Benoit won the tag titles.
All right. Now, are you aware of what I'm about to say?
No.
Okay. For the second time you have run WCW Battle Bowl, a randomized big gimmick where they got a tag team titles and the Battle Bowl champion won right there, right? Huge thing. A lot of time and effort got put into it both years you've done it. Both times that the champions get the belts, they lose it immediately. I mean, immediately, wasting all of the effort that you have put into it. You can't. Twice now, Chad?
I guess that's because it was Kevin and Scott who won it the first time.
Yeah, and then the Hardys took it immediately. And then it went to DDP and Scott. And now it's Billy and Big Show. Their first defense, they fucking lose it.
I don't think it was their first defense. They had another defense before that. But I see what you're saying. It was a very quick title run.
Yeah, well,
listen,
so what's the point of running the gimmick if you're just going to get the belts off of them?
I would say, Justin, that you don't give me enough credit. You always criticize my bookings, but
No, you have great bookings, but then the stuff that it's always the gimmicks that you put a lot of effort that have no payoff because it's immediately just all that is erased. Right? That meant nothing if they're just not going to have the belt for more than a month.
Well, listen.
I understand the story's good and all, but it rubs me the wrong way. It makes me not care about the Battle Bowl if none of it mattered.
Well, that's fair, but one thing that does matter, Justin, is the classic 2000.
All about Suzuki and Benoit, but the Battle Bowl, I'm over now. I'm over it.
Now, Justin, this is, speaking of WWE guys, we have Tajiri, who also came through here.
Yes, yes, he did.
One thing I forgot to mention, too, Chris Sabin, on the weeks leading up to this, has made it very clear. He has been Team WWE this whole time. He came out, his entrance music, his entrance music is just the Raw theme song, and he has a giant flag that he wears like a cape, and it's just a WWE flag. He's like, and he was like, listen, I'm gonna win the Classic. Obviously, he's out now. He said,
can I criticize this booking again, or are you gonna get mad at me?
No, go ahead.
He's not on Raw. Why would he use the Raw theme song? All right, continue. Continue. Know your goddamn product, Chad.
And he said that if I don't win, that I'll be damned. Like I'm going to make sure Tajiri wins. So that might come into play here. But Justin, nonetheless, we got Tajiri versus a man who has been probably the shock of the tournament. Shinsuke Nakamura. He was the guy who defeated Steve Corino in an upset, and then he fought Homicide and lost because Homicide and Low D, they're beefing with the Buried, of course, and the Buried took Low D's 24/7 championship, and they cost Homicide, and so Shinsuke's been he got a little lucky on that one round, but he's made it this far into the tournament, and now we get Tajiri versus Shinsuke Nakamura in the next round of the Classic.
Yeah. I wonder who's going to win this one. Oh, wow. Okay, thank you.
Yes, Tajiri defeats Shinsuke Nakamura and advances into the semifinals of the Cruiserweight Classic. He will face Owen Hart, Justin.
Ooh, if he doesn't beat old man Owen Hart, you might as well just stay there in WCW, Tajiri.
We'll leave you here in Maryland.
Yeah, we'll leave you here in MD. Where MD is, I don't know, but
The Rock is here, and The Rock is just talking backstage. He says, tonight the People's Champ is going to put on a classic. He takes on CM Punk and Hollywood Hogan in a triple threat match, and he's very confident that he's going to win.
I am too, because he hasn't lost yet, and I don't think Hollywood Hogan's going to be the one to beat him. Maybe CM Punk, but
CM Punk is there, and Justin, as we know about triple threat matches, Justin,
champion doesn't need to be pinned.
Or if Hogan pins Punk, Rock loses the belt. So.
That is true. It would be a loss. Speaking of a loss, RIP Super Crazy.
So Super Crazy told Low D at the very start of this tournament. He was like, or not Low D, sorry, Hoovitude. He says, listen, Hoovy, I'm in the Classic, and I want to win it. But you've got this big thing going with the Eaton Coalition, and Hoovy, he insisted. He said, you know what, this whatever issue that there is with Bobby Eaton and his little group, it's on me. You're my friend. I don't want to drag you in here. Go win the Classic. I'll handle my own. And so Super Crazy has taken that and said, okay, I'll do just that. And Super Crazy defeated Kenny Omega in the first round of the Classic, and then beat Matt Hardy in the second round to bring us here as he stands in the ring with the Great Sasuke. The Great Sasuke, of course, defeated Who did he defeat? He defeated. I have changed his bracket so many times and scribbled things out.
But he's here. Doesn't matter who he beat.
He's here. He beat James. He beat James Gibson in the second round of the tournament. So, and now he stands here across the room with Super Crazy as we get Super Crazy versus Great Sasuke.
Who's gonna win?
We'll
I was gonna say Super Crazy.
And in a bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Super Crazy defeats the Great Sasuke with a crazy bomb and advances to the semifinals.
The fuck is a crazy bomb? Has Super Crazy won that little times that I didn't know his fucking finish was the crazy bomb?
Most of his wins have come in tag matches with Hoovy. And exactly this, Justin. We see here the final four of the classic: Owen Hart and Tajiri taking on Super Crazy and TJ Wilson here in the final four members of the classic.
I'm gonna guess Owen Hart and TJ Wilson.
Interesting.
Because there's not a shot you're putting a Fed guy in the finals, and TJ Wilson has 11 dudes at his fingertips. They'd all have to get in an accident on the way to the ring if Super Crazy is going to win this match.
Hollywood Hogan.
Speaking of accidents in the ring.
He says, Rock can talk all he wants, but tonight, brother, I'm going to win the Universal Championship for all of my Hulkamaniacs.
I kept my mic on mute because I thought you were going longer with that one. No. That's it. What the? Hey! Oh my!
We have a Miller Lite commercial from James Storm, and then we have the first semifinal match: Tajiri versus Owen Hart. And both in this match, Chris Sabin came out with Tajiri at ringside, and so Brett came out with Owen, and they got into a little kerfuffle at ringside. But it doesn't matter because Owen Hart defeats Tajiri with a sharpshooter.
I'm just forget.
So Owen Hart will be in the finals.
I'll just forget you stealing my gimmick there. I'll just forget.
It was another commercial.
Yeah, come on, Chad.
That had nothing to do with pizza.
Chad. Come on.
And then Justin, we have breaking news backstage. Super Eric. So I couldn't get everybody who was in this angle in this because the game just wouldn't let me. But Low D, Homicide, Champagne, and A-Train, their security, with Shark Boy and Super Eric and Joey Mercury, they just attacked the Buried backstage. You know, all these men who were screwed by the Buried in this tournament in some shape or form. They want to make sure that this final is an even match, so they just get in a big old brawl.
Can I change my answer?
You can change your answer.
Yeah, it'll be Super Crazy now.
Interesting.
Oh God! Oh no! Oh, forgot about the Tomko.
So AJ Styles, of course, has been trying to get Chris Candido's TV title for a long time, but Chris Candido, you know, he has his buddy Travis Tomko interfering in every step of the way. And Chris Candido has been able to weasel his way with the belt. Sting came back after originally losing the TV title to Chris Candido. And he's been kind of, he's been a little ally with AJ Styles. It looks like they have a common enemy here. But tonight, AJ Styles will go one-on-one against Chris Candido. And to ensure Tomko doesn't get involved, Justin, to make sure Sting doesn't get involved, it's a steel cage match.
Yeah. I mean, Sting shouldn't get involved, but he's a face. But I understand that Tomko a couple weeks ago on Thunder, if I'm not mistaken, on the main event, helped Candido retain that belt. So Roddy Piper made that a steel cage to, like you said, make sure Tomko does not get his stinky little palms in this match. It's Styles and Candido. Who do you got, Chad?
Who do I got? I know who wins. Who do you got?
AJ, come on now.
And you know what? Tomko couldn't get involved, and AJ capitalized. AJ defeated Chris Candido in a steel cage match.
Yes.
Styles Clash to win the World Television Championship.
That he did. That's what a title run for Candido there.
Mr. 5-star.
What a fucking failed gimmick that was too.
Having Dave Meltzer as manager.
Yeah, and then he would like lose every match. He never had that 5-star match to even become Mr. 5-star. Like it'd be like Shawn Michaels was Mr. WrestleMania. That'd be like calling like Omos Mr. WrestleMania right now, brother. Yeah, I mean that was the right choice. I think
so. So Taz has been on the build up for this whole show. You know, he said, you know, the classic is going to be this big important thing, and the winner of that is going to be, you know, is going to come out and deserve it. However, I'm the cruiserweight champion. All right, it doesn't get more classic than the run that I've been on with this belt. I've been destroying everybody, and so I'm out here tonight to have a cruiserweight open challenge. Anybody who wants to try to take my cruiserweight championship from me, I invite you to come down to the ring and just make the music.
I want to guess. I want to guess. Let me guess.
Go ahead, guess.
I'm gonna guess who is on your roster. I'm gonna guess Super Dolphin.
Super Dolphin is actually in Osaka right now. He's unavailable for the show, unfortunately.
Okay, so I'm out of a guess. Continue.
Yes. The music hits for a man who has recently undergone a name change and a new attitude.
Achilles.
Aggressive attitude as the music of Michinoku comes out.
Oh.
And we get Michinoku versus Taz for the Cruiserweight Championship. And Michinoku defeats Taz in 11-16 and wins the Cruiserweight title.
Okay. All right. I mean, oh boy. 11 minutes.
Yeah.
That was a short little match.
We were running out of time.
Could have added more. Next segment. Yeah, damn. These have been some weird title runs as of late. Taz had that.
Taz has been a champion. Taz has been champion for a while.
When did he win the belt? Starrcade?
No, he's been the champion before Starrcade, if I remember correctly.
Don't look. He won it at Starrcade, so 2 months.
Well, he was chasing the belt for a while.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I felt like he was the you're doing the Tony Khan with some of these. Like the chase is more fruitful than the actual run itself.
Don't you ever compare me to
I mean, Candina was the same thing. Won it at Starrcade, lost it here.
I mean, December to March is a solid run.
Well, you got to think of it as January because it was the end of December. So think of it as January to March. So that's 3 months, which isn't. I mean, no, I just felt like Candido's fine. Candido was a bad example. I thought Taz's run was so good that felt like a very lackluster run for him. Because what did he do? He had 2 defenses. He probably took on Hardy and Hardy. Yeah. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But now we get to see
True.
what Taz does next.
True, and I'm excited. I'm excited for Michinoku. I think Taz is. I think you know where I felt with Taz in the beginning. I thought he was better than the Cruiserweight division in the first place. I think he's a main eventer, to be honest with you. That's why I liked his run for the belt, but the actual run itself wasn't. It left a lot to be desired. I'm excited to see the new run of a new era of Michinoku, though. Give me is he a heel? What is he about? I don't know. I have to find out. He just came back. I have no idea. Don't spoil it. I'm excited. Matt Hardy's run was only 3 months too. And so was Ray's. What's going on over there? And so was AJ's. And so, Lodi had a 4 month. Why is everyone on a 3 month run, Chad?
That's a good question.
Sorry, let's get back to the show. Sorry, I didn't mean to look at that.
That's okay. We have here Super Crazy versus TJ Wilson, and now an even playing field. Because the buried, actual match in the buried won't be a factor potentially.
Unless a new debuting buried guy comes in. Quiz? No, come on.
No, Super Crazy defeats TJ Wilson with a crazy bomb, which means a finals of the classic 2003 will be Owen Hart taking on Super Crazy.
Yeah, that's probably the best. I mean, yeah. Again, I don't think Owen Hart should be classified as a cruiserweight, but if out of the people in it, yeah, this is the best probably matchup for it. I'm rolling on Super Crazy. There's not a goddamn chance I'm giving it to Owen. He's not a goddamn cruiserweight. He shouldn't be in it at all. Justice for York.
Justice for York.
Let's move on. CM Punk. He says he's going to take the belt and prove why he's the best champ, Ion of all time.
Correct. That's exactly what he says.
What does he say, Chad?
Yeah. So Punk grabs the microphone and he says, Rock can talk to the people. Hogan can talk to his Hulkamaniacs. I don't need any of them because I have my own wrestling ability, because every time I step into that ring, I steal the show. I've proven it since I've been here in WCW. I was the television champion, and I've made it my mission to prove that I am the greatest champion this company has ever seen. And tonight, when I beat the man who's been on one of the best runs in pro wrestling, when I beat the People's Champ, when I beat the Hall of Famer, no one will be able to argue the fact that CM Punk is the best in the world.
You know what? I'm pulling for CM Punk, but I think the Fed guys, I don't think he's going to win. It's just the Fed rub this show.
Well, I mean, technically, The Rock is a Fed guy, right?
Yeah, that's why Hogan's winning. Like Hogan's coming out with the belt. You're gonna say, I see you, Ric Flair, and I raise you, Hogan, winning the belt.
I raise you, Hogan.
Oh boy. Yeah. Speaking of Fed guys losing.
We've kind of already covered this build up. Booker T versus Juventud Guerrera in an ambulance match. The Eaton Coalition have vowed to destroy Juventud Guerrera, and tonight might be the chance to do it.
Tell me why Booker T joined the Eaton Coalition here, Chad. What is Booker T?
Yeah. Well, so we kind of talked about this at the last pay-per-view. Booker T, while he was an up-and-coming wrestler with his brother Stevie Ray as Harlem Heat, Bobby Eaton was always backstage, just a complete, just knowledge tree. Booker T said that he learned so much from Bobby Eaton backstage and became a friend. And Bobby Eaton even told Booker T, you need to go explore other avenues. And so he left, and when Booker T came back, Bobby Eaton came to him with a favor of, I need you to help me destroy Juventud Guerrera. And Booker T also remembers that while Booker T was here backstage, Chef and Hoovy, they were a popular little act, but Hoovy was always an asshole backstage. And he's chomping at the bit to finally shut up Juventud Guerrera and prove that he doesn't deserve that briefcase.
Oh man,
Hoovy's
got shoot heat with the boys. I didn't know that. The hell?
Juventud, I think that's kind of been Juventud's little character, right? I mean, when he was a heel, he was an asshole.
Yeah.
But in a superb match, Booker T defeats Juventud in an ambulance.
What the hell?
So Juventud Guerrera, he fought admirably, but of course the numbers game was just too much. Ace Steel interfered. Ace Steel brought back an oldie but a goodie. He had that fucking little steak, and Booker and Juventud turned around, steak right to the head, and Booker T was able to capitalize on that. Yeah, Justin, they threw Juventud in an ambulance and it drove away.
Oh, he's coming to the Fed. All right, perfect. Welcome to WWE Juventud Guerrero. Welcome, everybody. Chad didn't laugh at that, guys. I'm sorry. That was a bad joke.
And the Eaton Coalition stand tall after sending Juventud Guerrero to the hospital.
Good fucking riddance. If you're going to be an asshole backstage, you don't deserve the briefcase. Oh, boy. Here comes the main event.
No, this is the co-main event.
Yeah, the main event. Here we go.
Co-main event. Rock, Hogan, Punk in a three-way dance for the Universal Championship.
I'm going Hogan here, Chad.
You're going Hollywood Hogan. Interesting.
Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, I'm against the grain here. Yeah, I knew. Come on, let's be honest. Your Rock was not going to lose. Come on now.
Rock pins Hollywood Hogan and makes defense number 7 of the WCW Universal Championship.
Gosh darn, 7 defenses already. Well, the cruiserweights could fucking learn a thing or two from holding the belt for more than.
He won the belt at last year's Rising Sun. The Rock is officially. Well, I guess he got injured during.
He did.
So I guess there was like a month.
He did. He was out for a couple months and came back in, I think, May, maybe June. But regardless, he's coming up on a year then. He's coming up on a year. But cruiserweight, he loves this. He loves competing against WrestleMania.
He loves it. Absolutely loves it. It's his favorite thing.
I hate him.
Well, his second favorite thing, because his favorite thing, as we'll see by the next segment, his favorite thing is partying with the people.
I was gonna say pussy. Yeah, he parties with the people. Now main event time, right?
Main event time. Super crazy. You can tell he's coming down. He comes out to the ring, and you can tell he looks disturbed that his friend Juventud Guerrera went out on an ambulance. And the announcers keep playing up like, where's Super Crazy's mindset? I mean, he's wrestled a few matches tonight. He looks exhausted, and now his friend isn't there. And Owen Hart, he's wrestled just as many matches tonight as Super Crazy, but he's got his brother there with him. He's got Bret Hart, and you have to imagine that momentum would probably be on the side of the tag team champion.
Yeah, I mean, obviously. Oh, I forgot he is the tag team. What the fuck's the tag champ doing in this? The cards are stacked against Super Crazy here. Yeah, Owen Hart is not only a tag team champion, but he is a Hart brother. He is one of the best wrestlers in the world today, regardless of what the game says about it. And Super Crazy, we've never seen Super Crazy in the spotlight like this before in singles action. Tag team, completely different. He's always had someone who, no offense, has always been better than Super Crazy. He was always been more talked about, more over than Super Crazy. This is Super Crazy's biggest match, and his head. We just saw Juventud Guerrero get thrown into an ambulance, so we have no idea where, like you said, where his mindset is, and the limelight might get to him, his head might get to him, his thoughts might get to him, because he's not standing in the ring with a guy like Horace Hogan. He's not standing in the ring with a guy like Volador Jr. He's standing in the ring with one of the best wrestlers of all time, Owen Hart, and he's if he wants to win, become the Cruiserweight Classic champion, he's gonna have to just block out those thoughts of Juventud and just focus on Owen Hart, because Owen Hart, like I said, former WWE champion.
Exactly. I mean, even when The Rock took on like all of Limitless a few months ago, the whole talk was that Super Crazy wasn't in it, and everyone was talking that Super Crazy, he's always lived in the shadow of some of his friends that he's teamed with in the past. And Super Crazy has a chance to silence those critics tonight, potentially. But you said it yourself. He does have to go against one of the best to ever do it. We have got Owen Hart versus Super Crazy for the Cruiserweight Classic Championship. Justin?
I already know who wins, so you don't need to ask me, because I don't want to spoil it, Chad.
It's true.
But who wins, Chad?
Well, we'll find out here in a second.
I want to see if you can provide a little bit of insight before I spoil the main event here, Chad.
Yeah, sure.
Call a match on the
Hart
fly,
Owen Hart immediately, he took advantage of the battles that Super Crazy has already been in tonight. He was going after, the legs early, because he knows, if I'm going to beat Super Crazy, I'm a better wrestler than him. He's faster. He's more agile. He's a high flyer. So Owen attacks the legs early. He puts him in a sharpshooter almost as soon as the match starts. And Super Crazy, he crawls to the ring, breaks up the submission hold. Then Owen, since then it was just on, and he was stomping the legs. He was trying to just ground Super Crazy. And for most of the match, it was working. But at the end of the day, Justin, Super Crazy, he was able to mount some offense of his own, and including, Justin, surprising Owen Hart by chain wrestling him at one point, and was able to get him into a sharpshooter of his own, and everyone was losing it for that, because Owen Hart and a sharpshooter, that's That's disrespectful. And Brett even got on the ropes. Like he was like yelling at Super Crazy. But Justin, it went back and forth. Super Crazy was definitely hindered by the attack on his legs. He wasn't as fast as he had been. And of course he's exhausted. Both of these men are absolutely exhausted. But Justin, that's what makes people great. You have to dig deep and deliver. And Justin, one of these men did just that.
I delivered.
And about that superb wrestling and the destruction of the crowd, Super Crazy defeats Owen Hart in 2025 with a crazy bomb and wins the Cruiserweight Classic Gold Jacket.
There it is. Super Crazy has won the gold jacket.
Biggest win of Super Crazy's career easily.
I mean, by far. And he ends the show.
Yeah, Super Crazy celebrates in the ring with his friends. He mouths "That one's for you, Hoovy," as we go off air.
What is he, dead? Is he doing the fucking Scott Studd, Devin Storm gimmick? What the hell, Chad? Grow up!
You can still dedicate your win to your friend.
How about you just go to the hospital and make sure he's all right, not fucking mouth to the heavens?
He'll probably go there next, maybe. Who knows?
Maybe tell him this one's for you to his face. Scott Studd can't do that, all right? Devin Storm's gone.
That's true, he can't do that.
What do you think this show did?
I think it got an 89.
89 on the 84 man?
I think the rest of the show did really well, and I'm hoping it got it to 72.
Non-wrestle. Oh, you didn't check the fucking promo gimmicks.
Damn.
Oh, we're annoyed at the amount of non-wrestling segments they had to sit through. Oh, Chad.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the 100 WrestleMania and the 72 Classic.
That reminds me when I got a 67 at Mania, brother. It happens. We just gotta.
It happens. Happens at us.
Yeah, you just got to be more diligent about checking because it does happen. It does happen.
It happens at the best of us. We've both fallen victim to it. It sucks. It sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah, probably not the best time to do it, though, right next to Mania. But regardless, Super Crazy is your Cruiserweight Classic champion. We'll find out what that means on Nitro. But up next, your WWE draft. Who will be... The brands will change. The superstars mixed up. Who will go to what brand? Chad, who's your early prediction? Who will be the number one pick overall?
I think Randy Orton will be the number one pick.
Well, oh yeah, he's not world champion anymore. He could be number one. We'll see at the draft. We'll see you for the next episode. Fuck Cody Rhodes.